All right, we're live. This is Everything Star Wars. My name is Rob. I'm here. You're there, and I am here. And I'm honored to be here with none other than Flipped Out and the Rookie Critic. How are you guys?
Fantastic, brother.
Super.
If you don't know, they are part of the Fandom Collective. They are very, very good, great to this YouTube community. They shout out God knows how many people every day. They work really hard. Rookie, you've got a great channel, and you've got 8 episodes coming out on the Rookie Legends, I believe it's called.
Yep, the Rookies Legends coming out July 3rd.
Now, 8 episodes, that's correct?
Yep, probably should have done less, but picked what I picked.
Question, what is the plot? Can you reveal that? I was a little like, I was confused. You had me guessing.
Yep, with everybody that I talked to have their part in the thing, I'm pretty vague on what's going on. You only know a little bit of context, so that way the whole plot's not completely spoiled. But basically, the Rookie's been at this for a while, and he's starting to become, the Rook is becoming a master in a way. And he's got to take on some new recruits to help with some trouble that's going on. The main villain is trying to unleash the gods of cinema to take control of film and all of its history and going forward. And will wipe out anyone in its way, anyone on YouTube, anyone in Hollywood, anything to have it their way. And we got to try to stop her. So that is pretty much the main premise of the Rookies Legends.
Wow. Now, you did, prior to this, you did the Rookie's Quest, which was 3 episodes, about like 3.5 hours, I think.
There's 3 hours and 40 minutes total. Each one was just over an hour for the most part.
And you had about 135 YouTubers collaborating with you. Is that correct? Or somewhere there?
to do a cameo, yes. Even though some of the cameos amounted to somebody just saying, "Take my energy." That's it. So there's some that voiced tomatoes in that as well for the Game of Tomatoes little mini trilogy within a trilogy part. So that all came up to be with the whole Rookie's Quest. So yeah.
That's cool, man. Now, how long? Because I can't imagine. I saw, if people haven't checked it out, I'll try to copy and paste it into the chat. If you want to do it, Rook, you can. You could. If they want to see the Rookie's Quest, because I thought, first of all, I thought it was great. To see so many people was terrific. Flipp was in that, right? Flipp did a couple of cameos, which I thought was awesome. I love Flipp's work, by the way. If anybody don't know, Flipp's guy, love his work. I think it's wonderful, and it was great. It was great stuff. And
I can hear you. Yes.
The tomato. What was that, Flipp?
What's that? Yeah.
What'd you say?
I can hear you.
He's telling you. That's cool.
You can't hear me?
I can.
He can hear
you.
Can you hear
me now?
He's just playing.
Little delay.
I was like,
weather
storm. No, not during the live stream. Now, the Game of Tomatoes, I can't imagine how long those still shots and. Can you go into that about how much work, and can you go into like the behind the scenes with that?
If you want me to, yeah. With the Game of Tomatoes, I was thinking this was around when Captain Marvel was coming out, and like when I did the first rounds of the tomato stuff, and Rotten Tomatoes website seemed to be doing fishy stuff all the time with it, and everybody was making videos on it. So I thought it'd be kind of funny, like, hey, is there any videos of people smashing tomatoes? I was looking for them. And the only ones they have are like just like iron crushers of crushing tomatoes. And I'm like, that's it? There's no, destruction of any kind. Well, there's Rotten Tomatoes being stupid, and I could maybe practice stop motion. I want to be a filmmaker someday, so I've never seen anybody do stop motion tomatoes before. Let's give it a shot and see if I can make something happen. And let's make Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, like their goddess that they worship in their world, and they give them all little voices. And in the end of each thing, I end up destroying them. So that's whatever's going on in the plot, they get destroyed usually. And I kind of grew on that plot as it went. And by the time you get to the Game of Tomatoes, I assigned about 20 people to do voices with that, and I used some of my Star Wars action figures to play as characters in it as well, and just kind of made it kind of a fun little story. I literally bought a little Game of Thrones figure thing that had over 300 pieces to build as just a simple backdrop for one scene. So, yeah,
I have to say, it was funny, man, because I was like, I can't believe it, because it was like 2 movies almost in one that you did. You had one with cameos, you mixed it in really well, and then you had this, and I was like, man, I was like, this is so fantastic. I mean, I wish more people would do it on the stream, on the channels. I thought it was really, really great. I thought it was terrific, in my opinion. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I mean, I had this, I made the Luke. So the reason why I called it Game of Tomatoes was everybody, I never saw Game of Thrones at this point, but everybody talks about how gory that, Game of Thrones is. And I was like, well, tomatoes are kind of messy. And if I have my Star Wars action figures, I heard that there's these White Walkers in Game of Thrones. Well, why not try the Skywalkers and have my little action figures be the zombies against the tomatoes? And then I heard everybody hates season 8 of Game of Thrones. So how about they don't have anything to do with anything? And it's just like, oh, it's the Skywalkers. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. So
that's great, man.
I use little olive swords that I put into the tomatoes so they can sword fight.
Yes, I saw that, the sword fight. It was so funny. It was funny when you walk up to the tomatoes. I'm like, yeah, they don't stand much of a chance. They
like to think they do. They're like, yeah, we can get you, and then they try, and it's like, nah, I'm just gonna just line up as I kill you all. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good how you did it, because I was like, this was funny because it was at the right time when Rotten Tomatoes was having that whole thing, and they were trying to cover up, and Captain Marvel came out, and I do remember that, and it was really funny. It was really perfect timing on your part. I thought it was great.
Thanks,
really
man.
well.
Yeah. Taking the pictures is the second worst thing. The other worst thing is like editing the pictures.
Right.
My editing software does not like it. It's like, no, it's too many pictures. Stop. But yeah, I think that's about all that I can say about the stop motion stuff.
Okay, cool. I just want to say hi to the chat. I see the Gaming A is here, and Zach Sheldon. I'll get to your comments. Don't worry. We're going to get to them as much as we can today. I promise. I always try to do that. So, Flipp, what's going on with you, man? The return of Flipped Out. You were gone for a little bit, and you've returned. Is this, going to be a thing? Are you back, or is this temporary, or what's going on with your channel?
Yeah. So I was only gone. I was in school for a little while. I was studying to be a real estate agent, and I passed all the tests, and then realized I don't have a car. Makes it a little difficult.
Yeah.
So I decided to come back to YouTube and build my empire from here.
That's great. So what can we see on your channel? I want you to talk to everybody, let them know about you, your channel, what the future of your channel is, what you plan on doing.
I am a conservative libertarian, and I stand steadfast in that, line of thinking. So you'll probably be seeing a little bit more items that show exactly how I feel, but I also integrate them into pop culture and try and do skits and stuff and just have fun. And I promise I want to monetize, but I also don't want to monetize because I don't want to put commercials in front of crap for $5 a month. And then I'm a little bit worried that if I do this, I'll be worried by looking over my shoulder all the time if they're gonna, block me or stop this, unmonetize this or whatever. So probably won't do that. But Rookie and I here are working on the Phantom Collective, and we're going to turn that into something much bigger as we go.
Yeah, so you don't want them to take away your creative control, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. They take away enough freedoms.
Yeah, and that would be a great. Michael Brent is in here, and so let me see a couple people who are writing some comments. Let's check out what they got to say. I know they got things that we're saying. So let's see. Give me a second. A little slow. All right, so everybody's saying hi. Zach wrote, I'll just post it up. I'll show. Give it a second. It should post up. So Zach says, I still love your reaction to SC38 reimaged, and how is everyone? So how is everyone, first off? How
Doing great, grand, and can't think of another G word.
Doing fine, Jim.
Zach.
Zach, thank you. I'm doing fine.
I was like, who's Jim? Great. Maybe he's talking to me. Maybe I'm Jim. I'm John. I don't know what my name is anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, your name is whatever we decide it is.
That's right. Robbie Pants.
All right, boy.
So did you guys ever see the SC38 reimaged Vader versus Obi-Wan?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very
What
amazing.
did you guys think of that? What was your overall reaction to it?
It
You
was
go first.
Oh, okay. It was really good.
Was there anything was there any doubts you had? I mean, is that it? Is it, that's it? That's really all
No,
you
it was
thought about?
outstanding. Like now I can't watch A New Hope without editing that into it. So I'm working on that. For me personally, I'm not going to put it out or nothing because I'd probably get, getting a lot of trouble. But yeah, it has to be that way now because you get to that part in A New Hope and you get this old man just, it's not the same. But I love it that much. It's part of the movie.
Rook, what are your thoughts on it?
So mine's kind of mixed. Like I appreciate the effort that it takes that they did to make it look the way it did and the way they edited it to try to feel like it's a part of the story from A New Hope. And like if we're being honest here on A New Hope, like one of the weaker sides is the sword fight with Ben versus Vader. It's like, yeah, we understand the circumstances of why it was that way, but if we're just talking about how great it is, that was pretty mediocre fight, even though we get it. But in a way, I always kind of saw it as like these are two old timers that are like it seems like they don't battle that often anymore. But then when you see Vader fight in Empire, it's like, well, he's fighting a youngster he's spry and you'd think is pretty strong, and he kind of wipes the floor with them. So yeah, seeing him do a few more active things and the way they used the Force a little bit more in the reimagining was pretty good. I liked it. It's not necessary, but I appreciate that they made an attempt. So
I'm just gonna say this. Like there was a time when George made these Star Wars special editions. I don't know too many people who remember this, but they put them out in the theater. I didn't know the reason. I guess it was because of the technology, and George was like eager to try out his technology. So that was the whole thing with George Lucas. He started this technology like back in 1977, because I'm an old timer. No one's ever saw what we saw in the theater. I mean, my mind was like boom from the opening scene, blown away. And when the fight scene, I understand you're talking about 40 years ago. So the Vader suit was stiff and he couldn't really, and again, Alec Guinness is an older man. But had he put the special edition and put this in, it would have been incredible. And the way I saw it was Vader is, remember, half machine. So a machine is very powerful. Like if you think the Terminator, think of something like a human being with bones and skin, and you got this robot with, just grab me and throw me wherever you want. So it made sense to me to see that Kenobi is older. He's not as strong. Even Vader says, your powers are weak, old man. He's an older guy. Father Time takes over. I mean, we can't be Father Time. None of us can. That's how it is. So I thought it made perfect sense. I thought it was terrific. And I also felt that deep down in his heart, Kenobi never wanted to really hurt Anakin. And I think the only reason why he did in Revenge of the Sith was because he was forced to. He even tells Anakin, don't try it. Don't try. He really didn't. Man, like I could see that this is not what he wanted. And I think it came down to it again. Like, I can't do it. He's going to, I got to think about Luke. This is it. This is it for me. I'm just going to let him kill me, and he became one with the Force. I mean, that's my opinion, but I don't know if you guys agree or not.
Somewhat. I've heard that, when you learn that Obi-Wan didn't, like, he held information from Luke about, from a certain point of view. And, some people kind of said that it's like he kind of got himself killed in a way to motivate Luke to want to kill Vader even more. Like, if he didn't have as much a reason before after killing his master, he's got a reason now. So I don't know. That's a different conversation, I guess. But just as for the reimagining, yeah, like I'm glad they did that, but I don't feel like that's the power levels they'd really be at that point. But then again, I don't really know. Just when they first made it.
All right. I feel like they were really old, but when you get a surge of adrenaline, which is a fight or flight, when you start to get into a altercation or a wreck, or if you just slip and fall and you need someone to help pick you up because you're so old, you still get a surge of adrenaline. And I felt like it worked for that reason. But I get the old folks home idea. It's like, yeah, when I was your age, I was more spry, but I liked it because as a movie viewer, nobody wants to see, the ugly chick in her bikini. I mean, you want to see her, the hot chick. And if you're gonna watch a fight, you want to watch a good fight. You don't want to watch two old guys kind of thumb wrestle. So I thought it worked like that. I was like, all right, well, this has turned up the adrenaline level. Yeah,
I hear. We got another question, so we'll jump into something else. I didn't hear this. I don't know. It says, did you hear that now Disney is going to make a female lead Star Wars movie? I didn't hear nothing about this. And I wouldn't care. Again, I mean, they did it with Rey. To me, it doesn't. I don't care if it's alien. I don't care what it is. It's not. It doesn't matter what race, what creed, what color, what gender. I don't care about none of that. Give me a good story that makes sense. Give me a background. Let me know about the character. I don't care who you put as the lead. That is irrelevant to me. What's relevant to me is the story, and this is where the sequel trilogy faded. Finn, great character, could have been phenomenal. They didn't really do anything with it, And in the beginning, I remember, and again, this didn't come from me. I remember like, some people are upset that it's being led by a woman and a black male. And I'm like, what does it have to do with anything? I couldn't care less if it was an alien species who's blue. Who cares? Well, to me, it's a story. But, you guys tell me.
Yeah. No, I agree completely, but I feel like part of the issue comes to the media reporting on this kind of stuff too, because they're the ones that usually will say that, oh, hey guys, look, that new Star Wars movie is going to be female led and it's going to have a black dude and these and that. They point it out, and that's what they're pointing out. They don't hardly mention the story at all when they announce these things. Then people react, and then they go, oh, you guys are, you guys don't want it to be a female lead. It's like, well, no, this seems to be what you're starting with. What the hell is the story? Like, can you start, the fact that he's even saying Disney wants to make a female-led Star Wars movie, that shouldn't even be what we hear if that comes from Disney, because what relevance does that have to do with anything? Like, what story are you trying to tell? What's going to happen? Like, anything? It's gonna have a female.
Hollywood's a weird place, right? I mean, it's. Every now and again, when I was growing up, it was guns and abortion. Now it's, are you gay? And if you are, then you've been oppressed. If you're black, you've been oppressed. If you're anything except a white male, you're oppressed. And guess what? We over here, we love you. We're going to put you in our movies and make a special example out of you. If I was any of the minorities that specifically, I mean, I can't even technically say I'm white. If you want to get right down to it, I'm Lebanese Italian. So, but I was born in America. So what does that make me white though? I don't know. And if so, does that affect where you put me in a job? Because quality of workmanship and the ability and the skills to do that job are what really matters. It's virtue signaling, just plain and simple.
But yeah, but I mean, if you're asking me just in general about the movie, I'm not really paying attention to what new Star Wars stuff's coming out in general. So they can make it if they want. They can make it starring Goobly Block with Blue Hoobie Doo as his sidekick, and that'd be fine. I'd be like, well, about time, I guess. I just don't have any interest right now. I'm at a point where there's a lot of Star Wars content. There's a lot of stuff I like in what we have, and any new stuff, like I don't need to have it around for me anymore. It's like it's where a lot of my creativity comes from, but I kind of like the idea of some franchises slowing down, and now this one's just going to be peddling them out like crazy, and it's just like, I don't know. I had to see it being less worth it.
Well, let me ask you this before I get to the next question we were asked. You want to be a future director, right, Rookie?
Yes.
So you make a movie, like right now you're making it, whatever, and you're doing your own thing. Do you really care who the lead is? I mean, I don't know when this happened, because back in the day, like, okay, Aliens came out and Ripley was the leader, or Laura Croft came out, or whatever. And whoever was the lead in those movies. I'm like, I didn't care. If to me, it doesn't matter as long as you're putting out something that's good. I mean, I don't care if it's a woman, if it's a male, if it's black or Asian, or none of that matters to me.
Yeah. If anything, I think about who I would want to cast, or like who I'd want to have in the movie, rather than think about what gender or race specifically they are. Like one of my other ideas that I had was for a, kind of a funnier type of thing, but also like half comedy, half drama, called the Hefty Hero. Kind of, but it's like I was thinking Jason Momoa, starting out in the old days. I wanted him to be in France though, even though he's not French. He's like Samoan. He would not fit in that area or that time zone,
right?
The area of where it is. But in my head, that's who I thought of who I'd cast first. Though I'd have to probably change his background on things. But like that's what I think of first, and then I think of, okay, who else would be on there? And I'm thinking of this one girl that was on the show Castle, but I don't remember her name. And she was pretty cool. She's a black actress, and I think a lesbian, or her character was, or something. Okay, something like that could be in there. But I'm not thinking to cast that first. I'm just thinking of the actors as far as cast would go that could play a character that I'm thinking of. So that's what I would think. And like right now, if you're talking about me right now, I don't have any actors to just pull from. So I'm usually playing most of the characters, and then whoever I could find on YouTube that can send a clip. That's
right.
what
I'm saying. Let's say that you and Flipp were co-directing, right? And you wrote a script and whatever. To me, you're not going to advertise, hey, look, this type of person is in the movie. It's going to be coming next summer, blah, blah, blah. And
right, yeah, I want people to get excited and thinking about what the movie is, rather than what type of person is in the movie playing whomever. And I think Flipp would probably think the same way with that. Like, I'll use the Red Gaze's Sunsworn as an example. Like, he's like reigniting the sci-fi branch. I forget how he words it, but it's like, yeah, that sounds cool and it looks cool, and that's what I want to see. I don't know anything about who's doing what with what genders, characters. I have no idea who the main character is yet, but the idea of his story sounds freaking awesome. So that's a good example I'd use.
I think we all agree to that. Okay, so the Gaming A asked, for Rob and the rest, how did you guys think? What did we think of the last scene of Rogue One with Darth Vader? Last 2 minutes when the rebels are standing there. We all know that scene. So basically, I'll go last, but what did you guys think? We'll start with Flipp. Your thoughts on that?
It was a mediocre movie. While I was sitting there, I just expected more, although I did enjoy it. Because what I'd seen previous was The Force Awakens, and I was like, what is going on? I mean, I liked it, but I was like, where's Luke? Where's Luke? Where's Luke? And we get to Rogue One, I'm like, all right, well, it feels good. The music's a little weird, and there was no crawl, But it was a good sci-fi movie. I would later learn that I really loved Rogue One compared to all the other ones. But looking back, my first impression of the ending was, thank God Vader is a beast in this. I mean, just everything you wanted to see Vader be, instead of like holding back on his son, I'm glad he held back on his son because it was his son, but I wanted to see him just go ape shit on somebody. So that was extremely satisfying. Without that in the movie, I don't think anybody would have liked it as much.
Agreed. Yeah, I am in the same boat, man. I don't know. Yeah, I think the movie is, a lot of people like the movie, which is fine, but like, I mean, there's so many things that I don't like in it and that are technically wrong with it. Like, just simple things where he's like, talking to stormtroopers, my gloves. He's not wearing gloves. and he's like trying to like say that's why he's reaching into his butt. Like I don't know, there's stupid things like that. But then yeah, the Vader scene itself, I thought was fine, but it really seemed misplaced based on how the rest of the movie just flows. I'm like, oh, he's here and he can do this. Okay, that's cool. But I don't know. Again, this kind of goes with like with the reimagined thing. It's like it's cool that they did it, but it doesn't really fit with what's there. Because you see him fight the next scene with Obi-Wan, and he's barely able to move. But with this, he's like just walking through, strolling, slicing down like it's nothing. It's cool, but with what they had set up, what comes after, I think could have been a little different. But I don't know. To me, it's a small point, but it doesn't really improve the movie.
Okay, I'll go quick about my thoughts. For me, I know this is going to shock both of you because of the way you guys are reacting. My opinion, and again, that's why I love talking with people because I love to hear different sides of the coin. Mm-hmm. Out of all the Disney movies, and I don't know saying much, but I loved it. And it was my second on my list of all-time favorites. And here's why I loved it, because New Hope always left me questioning, why would someone leave this gigantic weapon and leave a flaw that why wouldn't they catch this? Why wouldn't they catch this? Why wouldn't somebody, I mean, just think, let's say I said billions on this mass weapon to scare everybody off. And hey, I'm the big guy. You wouldn't catch this flaw? There had to be some, that was the only thing that ever bothered me about that movie. That was the one thing. The rest of it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So when they made this, it just, for me personally, it made New Hope even better. I love New Hope even more than I did when I first seen it. I loved it in the theaters because it's the movie that sucked me into this whole thing for 40 years. And I just thought it was, wow. I mean, I love the story. I thought it went really well. I loved how, her father was forced to do something by this evil, but if you don't do it, we're going to kill you and kill your family. And then his wife tries to protect him. And I was like, listen, he was trying to protect his wife, and she's like, you ain't taking my husband. I don't remember seeing that in a movie. I don't remember a movie showing me that. And that's why people say, oh, you're against a strong female lead. That's not true. Because that part alone made me feel good. Like, hey, look, she was like, I don't care. You're going to kill me, but you're not taking my husband. I'm going to kill you. And he's like, stop. He's trying to prevent that from happening. I thought that was great. The guy gets shot. Very realistic. It wasn't because, she's not a sharpshooter, she's not a pro. So she just shot the gun hoping, whatever. And she hits him in the shoulder and then they kill her. It was very real. It was really real to me. And I was like, wow. And I got hooked. I loved the K2SO. Fantastic.
That's
how
cool.
I love it. Funny, great personality. He became one of my favorites. So this movie had a lot of things I loved. It showed like the odds are overwhelming. They control everything, but there's small people trying to fight for their freedoms because they're not going to take this. Like how they had that ambush on the tank and everything. I thought it was beautiful. I love. They had a force-sensitive guy, yet he didn't have the force, but he somehow blind and he sensed it. I just thought it was overall. I loved it. Yeah, there was a bromance between the two. They had that going on, but it was good. It was emotional. Yeah, the good guys kind of won, but it was real. It was a war. They died. So I was like, this is like fantastic to me. This isn't like the good guys win and all the bad guys are dead and hooray, happy ending. We were all partying. No, it was like we saved it, but we did our mission.
The one part of the bigger war. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what moved me. That's what really made this movie to me fantastic. Like, I don't know what they could have edited. And I'm really trying to think of something. To me, I just couldn't think of anything bad in that movie. I said, man, if every movie from Disney is like this, I'm going to really love it. The fandom's going to go crazy. And then we got what we got. And I was like, oh my God, no.
Reality.
Oh my God, no. Like,
yeah.
The same thing. Star Wars. So it's better when it's darker. I don't know why. Empire came out, everybody loses, and everyone loved it. Rogue One, everybody loses, but they kind of win, but they lose, and They loved it. Would you agree to that? What about you, Rookie? Do you think it's better when it's darker?
I mean, I don't know if that's what the question is here. Like, I like that they ended up dying at the end, which, makes sense with the continuity. And I think that's a good way to end it too. You have your main characters actually go down. I mean, to me, I like that because it means they won't be in a sequel, which every movie tries to do half the time. So I like that. But I don't know. I kind of, with Rogue One specifically, I feel like a lot of it wasn't necessary. To me, it wasn't a huge flaw with the Death Star. It was more like it has an exhaust port, which is a purpose on a huge ship, I imagine, to release exhaust. So it's not like it was just a open flaw. And they have their turrets there. They could send in their TIE fighters if they need to defend it. They're the main power in the galaxy. This is a planet killing device. I mean, I could see why they would think it's nothing to worry about, which is why it makes the victory more spectacular, I would say. To me, that wasn't too much of a flaw, but I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the movie with it because I just despised it so much. So much of it I don't like, but I can see where you're coming from with your angle with that. And I wish that, I liked the concepts of it was great. If it was, I think it could have been darker and it could have been cooler. I think there's when they were when they were on that planet doing the tank thing with the stormtroopers and the cast starts coming together for the first time. Like, it just seemed like they beat up the stormtroopers with sticks, like kind of like the Ewoks did. There's a scene that he bumps sand in one of its eyes when he's wearing a helmet. He goes, it's like, you're wearing a helmet. It's like, I don't know. I just, so much of it adds to the stormtroopers are weak. I didn't feel like they were threatening in it either. And that one dude has like a gun that takes out like 7 in one shot. I'm like, what is this weapon? What's that? And it's funny you said that they can't edit anything. There actually is like a bunch of footage that they dropped, I guess, because they switched directors at some point, and the way they showed it in the trailer, it was going to go a little differently with some of it. So I don't know, but yeah, that's just my thoughts.
I have two more things. Like I said, usually the chat I'll go one way, but the chat usually winds up directing me a different way than what I plan to do.
Cool.
But I want to, hey, they're here, and without them, then why would, what's the point of me doing? I'm just hanging out, Right. So anyway, the Gaming A asked the Rookie a question, and he said, "The Rookie, do you have any kid roles in the movie you're making?" And maybe because he's curious. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but I'm just curious.
So I don't have any. Like, I have nieces and nephews, but their parents don't want them on TV or anything, so I don't write them into the story in any way. But I guess I can say there is a Jeff character called Jeffers that is childlike. So that's the closest that we can say is like a kid, I suppose. But yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get to the next question. Since now Flipp was bringing this up 1 second ago, so I'm going to bring this one up. It's more of a statement. Now, Flipp was saying how people like Dark. Well, here's another example. I freaking love Revenge of the Sith, says Zach, and I agree. I mean, I have this. This is my number one movie of all the movies. I don't care which one you pick. That's number one on my list. And maybe it is because you said maybe, what is, here's what I think. And you're a director. That's why this is perfect for me to ask you these kind of questions. And Flipp, you've been doing so great with your stuff. Maybe you guys could get this. I guess because all my life, all you ever see is good guys win, bad guys lose. Good guys are overconfident. Pick a movie, pick a franchise, pick Fast and Furious, Die Hard, whatever you want to pick. It's always this, what the ending is. You know what the ending is before you step into the movie. If it's a trilogy, you know how it's going to end. What's the secret? What is the secret? So I think that is why so many people who are fans love that friggin' movie. I mean, but I'll get your guys' view on it.
You go first, Flipp.
The ending is predictable. I half was paying attention. I'm sorry. So you were saying that one of the things we like is unpredictability.
You were saying how people like dark. They like dark in movies. They like. So here's somebody saying, "I love Revenge of the Sith." Dark movie. Dark movie, So my question was, why do you think this is? Why do you think there's so many people like the dark movies, like you said, that seem to be successful over the other stuff? What do you think it is?
I think the name war in the name, the word war has a lot to do with it, because you can't have a Star War and there be no war. That doesn't make sense. And like you said, with predictability, you can't have it always be the Western where there's a guy in a black hat and a guy in a white hat, and the white hat always wins. That doesn't play well to audiences since 1950 something. I don't know. I watched a movie recently. It was called Den of Thieves. It had Ice Cube's son in it. God, I can't remember his name. But the whole time I'm going, I know what's going to happen next. I know what's going to happen next. In the last 10 minutes of the movie, I'm like, hell yeah. They completely went a different direction. I didn't expect that, and that's why I liked it. And with the darker movies, yes, it's darker, and because they're Star Wars, like Revenge of the Sith, it's a prequel, so Vader has to become Vader, or Anakin has to become Vader, and that everyone else, certain people have to die, certain people don't make it. Rogue One, you knew going into it, because it's a Star Wars movie, the first or the second one in like 30 years, you're like, okay, they all got to die. They have to. But it's the way they make it happen, the unpredictable way that you're like, oh, okay. And then it's the ability to afterwards dissect it and say, well, they could have picked them up and they could have lived. It's a little bit of a debate, but not so much as to say that, man, that movie was crap. They didn't care about the story. They cared about the story, and there was debate with it that was constructive and fun. So I guess it's those items. It's got to be unpredictable. And if it's a Star Wars, to me, most of the complaints that come from Star Wars, like Return of the Jedi, was the Ewoks and Jar Jar and the prequels. People are tired of the silliness, because guess what? The Star Wars crowd has grown up. And you need to keep hold of that crowd, because they know what Star Wars really is. Jon Favreau knows what Star Wars really is. He wasn't just a secretary from the guy that created it. He grew up loving it. He became a director and a producer because of what Star Wars did to him. He said it. So anyway, I'm changing subject, but I agree. It's a lot of the unpredictability.
Yeah, I was gonna say, part of it, I think what helps the dark make it better is starting with some of the goofy. Like, I think as far as Jar Jar goes, like that's where we started with the prequels, and then it ended at slaughtering the younglings and Obi-Wan versus Anakin in an emotional battle and his loved one getting killed. So I mean, I think it's there can be goofiness around, and that could set the tone and how it is in the beginning. That's kind of like in the Lord of the Rings, the Shire. It's this happy little village of people in the town, and you go to the end. And yes, it's a happy ending technically, but the characters are emotionally scarred forever. They like that's what you could call like the black and white happy ending, but it isn't. It's like technically it is, but it isn't. Like the characters are changed forever. The world has changed. Frodo and them. Like I love the shot at them at the Shire. Everyone's all giggly happy. They don't know a thing that happened, and they're just different completely. And then you think about all the other characters that are in it and what they went through in their journey. I think didn't Gandalf get his staff destroyed? Like if you watch the extended versions or something, like the elements have changed. You lose one of the wizards in the thing, and then with Star Wars, like it's it starting good and then getting darker as it goes. I think is a good way to do it. And I'm curious, since you brought it up, Rob, about the light and dark thing too. Like I wonder if they were to make a trilogy and have the protagonists go through all their journey, and you think it's going to go somewhere, and they just lose. What would that be like? Like, oh wow, we're with you guys, and oh, he's dead. Like that'd be a ballsy exit, and then there's no sequel. Like that's it. That would be.
I was hoping
crazy.
that's where they went with the Rise of Skywalker, to do the unpredictable, because he said, I mean, I don't know if you remember, and then we're gonna get into something else after this. I don't know if you remember the ending, but it's like Sidious says to her, if you kill me, then I'm gonna go into you, my spirit. I said, how great of an ending would it have been that she goes to Skywalker on Tatooine, she buries the lightsabers, everything, and she says, "Who are you, Rey? Who?" And she looks and she sees them, and they're smiling again. And then she looks the other way and she sees Palpatine, and she's like, "I'm Rey Palpatine." And she like force chokes her. Then you see the darkness in her, the teeth and all that. And then she walks away and BB-8's like, what the hell just happened here? And then she goes off, and Finn could have been like, oh my God, like he could
say no.
And I thought that would have been the ending, that all of us would have been in a seat like, what just happened here? And we all would have came out of that like, whoa, is this the end? Or are they doing another? And they could have had a trilogy with Rey being evil and Finn trying to get his act together and say, how am I going to stop her? I this was my friend. How do I don't know what to do. And it would have been great if all the spirits like Anakin or this one and that one came back to teach him. We're going to help you. We're going to teach. This is not going to happen again. I think it would have been the most unpredictable, like you said, ballsy ending, and it would have got every one of us we would have been talking about this for like God knows how long, and they didn't do it. They went with this again, J.J. Abrams, the safe, always safe.
That would have been like a tattoo. I'd be like, wow, okay, I didn't like this trilogy at all, but damn.
It wasn't Abrams alone. The final edit, and they went through, if you remember, there were a lot of edits going on, and yes, I'm sure his would have sucked also, but the final edit was Iger's edit. You guys remember that?
Yeah. There's like 4 or 5 edits going around.
Yeah.
Before they released the final one.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree still. I mean, he plays it safe. Agreed.
Okay, this is for you again, Rookie. The Gaming A says, I guess this is why he asked the question earlier. May his child be in it or his little brother?
I appreciate you wanting to be in it. This project, I don't really want any kids in this one, but like in the future, I will do future stuff, and maybe they could voice, maybe they could play a voice of a tomato in the future, because I feel like after I'm done with this trilogy, I want to get back to some stop motion, and I have some ideas rolling in my head for that, and I have some little action figures I can use, and maybe they could voice one of the characters in that. I don't have anybody that I know that could do a child voice, so that might work in the future if you hit me up on Twitter at some point, at the Rookie Critic, then we can talk.
All right, there you go. So now that we've got Kennedy, there was an article, I know it's been going around. There's been Flipp just put a video out on this about the Civil War in Lucasfilm between Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau. Now, I like Jon Favreau. He played Happy in in Iron Man. He was in the Spider-Man, the Homecoming, and I think he's great. Me personally, I love what he did with The Mandalorian. I love his work. I think he's on point here. So basically the story, because I'm not going to put the screensaver, I don't want to lose my stream or anything. I'm going to take a risk right now, is that basically, I'll give you guys, it's just that Kathleen Kennedy, she's the one who's responsible for Galaxy's Edge. When people said, I don't understand why there's no prequel trilogy stuff in Galaxy's Edge, why isn't there an original trilogy? We expected everything. She decided that, no, I don't want this, and I want us to go forward, and Star Wars has a lot of stories going forward. In other words, like Kylo Ren says, kill the past, let it go, get rid of all the old, let's start with the new. And Jon Favreau's like, no, man, I'm not going to lose the lore. This is what George was about. This is what Star Wars was about. I don't want to lose some of the lore. If we can go forward, sure, that's great. But let's not lose the lore also, because losing the lore means you lose the fans, and this is not what I want to do. I like the way Favreau's thinking more. You could put old and you could make new. You could do both, and if you put a balance, just like the light and the dark and all that stuff, if you make a balance, you're going to keep everybody. You're going to keep the new generation, you're going to keep the old generation, and you're going to keep the prequel generation right in between, I like to say. So I like Favreau. I like the way he's going. I definitely don't like the way Kennedy's going, but you guys let me know what you think about all this, and it's up to you. I'll start with Flipp. What do you think?
I find it, I'll start with what you said about the Galaxy's Edge and her changing it. So the story is that they worked on it for about 12 months. All the Imagineers, worked on it for about 12 months. And all of a sudden she shows up and says, you know what? I've had an epiphany. Let's not do anything like Tatooine or Hoth or anything like that. Let's just get rid of all that and do something that's new. And the Imagineers were really upset about it, from what I've heard, or whatever. And then they started work on Jakku, or not Jakku. What was the Galaxy's Edge planet? Something similar to that. Babu.
Oh, but Batu. It's Batu, but the engineers, the Imagineers, like you said, their original idea was to have the Tatooine Cantina, and she flipped the script on that.
Yeah. So that was really, I mean, when I heard that, which was only about a week or so ago, I was like, wow. I mean, I'm not really sure why George Lucas chose her. I'm not really sure why she wanted the job. And I certainly don't understand what Disney was thinking. I could get political, but I'm gonna leave that alone and just say that when you're all in the same club, that it's easy. It's not what you know, it's who you know, I think. And they made a real mistake. I think everyone sees that they've made a real mistake. And Kathleen Kennedy has managed to come on board with Star Wars in the cell of the franchise at a time that was perfect. You know what makes me wonder? Her hiring Leslie Headland, who was Harvey Weinstein's secretary, but for only a year. I wonder if this was all completely planned. Like, I don't really know if all of the politics, the ladies club got together and said, hey, why don't we attack this guy next? It just seems to me that every couple of years, Bill Cosby or this politician or that politician, all of a sudden 12 to 24 girls come out of nowhere and say, well, he made advances on me that, you know, I didn't want, and I know I didn't come forward until now. And hence, you know, the Me Too movement. Well, she came on board. The Me Too movement happened. It's destroyed everything. When I say the ladies club, I wonder if that's not the feminists, you know? So Star Wars was destroyed from the inside out. And I think the only thing that we can do at this point is be happy that Jon Favreau, is on board. Is he's taking it and saying he realizes, I think, that he's the last person who is willing to step up. And I mean, this man made Iron Man on basically a small budget compared to other movies. And it was the hope that it would be an extra large feature, super feature, and that everyone would love it. And then they could go on and make the others. I mean, I'm sure you saw the same interview with Kevin Feige that I saw. And so he is also our last hope at this point. I hope he wins. I really do. That's about all I have to say about the Civil War.
Sorry, my mic. I put my mics off so you don't hear my doing in the background. Rook, what do you think about any of this?
I don't have much to comment on it, really. I'm in the boat of I don't really need to see more stuff from them. There's plenty of fan films that I think do an excellent job capturing the heart of Star Wars and putting their own effort into it, telling their own stories. And to me, it's more entertaining than anything they'll probably put out in Disney in many years. Whether it's Favreau or not, personally, I don't care. Like, to me, that's cool if he gets it. I mean, I guess there'd be less worse Star Wars with him at the helm, but ultimately, I don't need more from it. I feel like the more that they continue this stuff, the more they'll drag characters that we like down into the mud. So I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some finality, at least with it, if they're going to go forward. I even feel like The Rise of Skywalker, as much as they tried to close out anything, it felt like a jumbled. Was that even a finale?
Yeah.
Like, is this story? What is this story? Like, I don't even know. So I don't know. I feel like they don't need to make many more movies or shows with Star Wars, and I'm just not really in the boat of paying attention too hard to it lately. Not much interest there.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they kind of, like you said, they tore it in from the inside out, and it's disrupted a lot of fans. And this was once, it's said, because it was once a huge fandom, and that's why I jumped in. I wanted in. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to be part of this whole thing. That's why I made this channel to begin with. And sometimes I'll be honest, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should jump ship and do something else, or maybe I should like okay, for instance, I'm going to give you like John Talks. We know him. He used to be John Talks Star Wars. Then it changed it to John Talks. Another guy, Rhodes Rants on Star Wars, changed it to Rhodes Rants. So you could see the names of people. They've changed because of the interest. And I've seen the interest kind of come down myself. There's still a lot of people in the fandom who talk about this stuff. Like, I'm thinking of changing my name to, instead of everything Star Wars, doing entertainment in Star Wars, to have a little mix, to have a little, and that's the way I think I might be going in that direction. Doesn't mean I won't cover Star Wars. This means I also want to do the entertainment side of things because it's interesting. Yeah. There's always something crazy going on in the entertainment world, and everybody's into that,
Very true.
And so that was my thoughts on everything. I just want to say hi, multi-minded Scotty, good guy.
What's up, Scott?
Just want to say hi to you, Scott. And I'm here with Flipped Out. I'm here with Rookie Critic, if you don't know. Gaming A asked again. He must have missed the beginning. So if you briefly, Rook, I hate to bother you again. He just said he wanted to know again what your episodes was all about. He must have missed the beginning of it. I could tell him just to rewind it, but if you want to briefly summarize it,
sure.
He just wanted to hear you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So the villain is trying to take control of film history and film future all for herself. And she is going to try to crush anyone in her way. And the way she's going to do it is by trying to release the gods of cinema, which you'll have to learn about those when you see the project. And there's going to be me. I'm the Rookie Critic who, by this point in the story, there's a few other things that you could see to get more backstory, but it's not necessary to see it as is. I'm a rookie trying to take on some recruits because now I'm becoming a master in a way by this point. So that's what I'll give for now. I feel like that's the most non-spoilery I can be with giving it away. I haven't really pitched it too often. I usually show a clip and go, that's what's there. So that's all good. That's what I can get you for now. There's going to be a lot of characters in it, a lot of other channels still in it. Not as many as last time, but still going to be quite a few cameos.
How many YouTubers this time do you have in this one?
Around 50 or 60.
Okay, so it's a little less than drastic than last time it was. That's for certain. Just want to say hi. What's up, Sly Jones? I saw you sneak in here. Another good guy who's been very supportive of my channel. So what's up, man? How you doing? Another thing, in Canada, this happened. And again, Flipped Out, you did a video on this also. That tells you how much I'm binge watching here. I just got to comment on your videos. But in Canada, and Rook, I don't know if you followed this or not, but what happened was there was during this, I can't say what's going on because of YouTube, but during this time, I'm just going to put it that way, store owner wanted to get a little crowd going in, people. It was May the 4th, so big Star Wars day for all of us. May the 4th be with you. So he dressed his employee as a stormtrooper, but he made a brutal mistake. In this day and age, you shouldn't give someone a gun. He did. He happened to get the stormtrooper blasted. Now, people who recognize the stormtrooper outfit and all that, no, it's just a prop. It's not real. But anyway, somebody who didn't, obviously doesn't follow Star Wars, doesn't know anything about it. There was 2 calls to the police precinct. The police came, and at first, it seemed like they were just doing their job. Maybe they didn't know Star Wars either. They were going to take a risk, Listen, I'm not going to knock the cops first because it's a very difficult, stressful, scary, thankless job. And everybody always jumps on them. But imagine, I don't know who you are. Never met you in my life. I don't know what's behind the mask. I don't know if that you're attempting to kill somebody or not. I don't know. I can't take that risk. They drew out their guns. But the stormtrooper did right. The employee drops her weapon. Now she's just screaming, get in the ground, but she's in a stormtrooper outfit. It's not the easiest to get on the ground with. It's not that flexible. It's not like my pajamas or anything. So she's trying to get in the ground, she gets to her knees, and she got her hands up, backs away from the gun. She did, oh my God. I had to stop for a minute because it's the first time this has ever happened. I'm going to mark this date in history. I just got a super chat for the very first time on this channel.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thank you there, Sly Jones. He got a 5 on it. Yo, I got to put that up there. Yo, that's so nice.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
No, that's why I didn't expect that, but thank you, man. He's really a nice guy. If you haven't checked out Sly Jones, man, dude, let me tell you, this guy's voice, before I go on with the Stormtrooper story, is amazing. I think he should be like on radio. His voice is so smooth. He reminds me of like the I can't forget. I got his name, like the Luther Vandross or something. He's got the perfect voice. I'm like, damn, he's on the radio. I'd be like, be relaxed, sip my wine, listen to the radio. Yo, thanks, man. He just said you're awesome, bro. Keep doing your thing. He's a great guy. So Slide, if you want to put your channel down below, please put the link to your channel. I hope some people check you out. Hopefully you can come on the stream one day. He's a great guy. Really, Slide Jones, very nice guy. Thank you, man. Man, you made my night. That was really good. First of all, I'm excited I got Flipp and Rookie, which is great because I waited 2 years. You don't understand. Let me explain. With your phone, and Flipp knows what I'm talking about, I can go on anybody's channel, but I could not, for the life of me, have anybody on my channel, and I struggled, and YouTube just was against the phone. So I went out and spent money. I bought a laptop, and I was sick and tired. I said, you know what? I made 2,000 with my phone. And I want to give back to the community. I want to get these people on my stream. I am reaching out. I'm telling you, I'm on Twitter DM, reaching out to every channel I possibly can, waiting for responses, schedules. What time are you free? This is my 3rd live stream. I have another live stream tomorrow too. I have another live stream at Sunday. So I'm trying to get the community in here, grow, support each other, because YouTube is screwing people. Okay, I'm just going to stop at the Stormtrooper for a minute. I really want to tell you guys this. If you hit Sly Jones's icon, you cannot. Well, wait, hold on. Yo, Rook, are you serious?
I didn't know it was your first one. I thought you'd gotten a few super chats before. So,
no, dude,
you got another one now. You got another one now. There you go.
Oh my God, Rookie Critic, damn. I'm going to give you a bro pound because I don't know what else I can do. So let me do it.
Good.
Wow. Dude, that's so nice of you. Seriously. Here's what happened this week, and Flipp knows. I just got monetized this week. Then I hit 1,100 subs yesterday. So I was like, wow, this is great. People come to my stream. I was really excited to say, yeah, I'm going to come to your stream. Hey, when can you have me on? I want to be there. I want to hang out with you. I felt so good this week. I really did. And when you guys said we're doing Thursday, because I was so worried you guys couldn't do it, I mean, honestly, you guys have been you so terrific to me. I mean, you really have. I can't, if I saw you in person, I give you guys a big hug because I'm really thankful for what you've done for not only me, but what I could see every day. Hey, check out this channel. Oh, we got a brand new channel coming out here. Hey, here's this channel. This channel put up a video. And you guys are on it. You guys support people. Look, I see you on so many live streams, dropping money, $2 here, $2 here. I don't think I know. I'm blind. I see it.
Yeah, I need to stop doing that, but
you guys have really don't think I don't see these things because I do. And you guys have really been terrific, supportive. The Fandom Collective is fantastic. I don't know how much more I could tell you guys to praise you guys, but that's why I want you on the show. You both, by the way, have not dropped your link in my chat, by the way. I just want to say that.
Hey, we're here to talk with you, man. It's all good. If people want to find us on the Rookie Critic on YouTube, he's flipped out on YouTube as well. We're the Fandom Collective combined. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Inya Games is here. Hi, Inya. He's getting. I'm also, in case you don't know, I'm part of the gaming community. I play a lot of Battlefront 2, so I support gamers. And Inya, I don't know if you know Tommy Juice or if you know all about Nerd 2 Battlefront 2 players.
Oh, dude.
You know them?
Yeah, Inya.
Yeah, Inya. Here, hold on. I'm gonna put his comment here. He said, "Hey guys, ES, Flipp, Rookie, how you doing?" Inya, that's Inya Gaming. Listen again, if any of you, Sly Jones, Inya, Rookie, Flipp, you want to put your channels, please just throw it in the comment section. Let people hit it. Let me
see.
Look at this, guys. Look at this.
Yep.
You see the comment?
Hail, buddy.
Hail the Fandom Collective. Inya, man.
I want to again real quick to Slide Jones. You say he's got a good voice. So Slide there. I don't know if you do like a good Mace Windu, but a guy named D and RGW Railfan. Just look up Railfan on Twitter. He's looking for someone to do Mace Windu voice actor.
So if you go to Sly's channel and you just hear it, I'm telling you, he's got a fantastic voice, bro. I kid you not. He came to my channel. I was like, who's this guy? Usually I go check out people. and he's really his voice. Everybody were like, man, dude, your voice is like fantastic. He's got a great voice, man, and he's so smooth. Like he'll come on late at night, and I'm like, okay, good, because I just want to chill. I've had a stressful day at work, and he'll do a live stream, and I'm like, good, I'm putting it on, and I'm just gonna chill out and relax, and everybody's sleeping, and I'm just like, I just chill out. He's a good guy. I have a good community, and these people are very excellent. Yeah, I have my trolls, I have my haters. I've done, we've got all.
Yep. We feel you
but
there.
People told me, they say, Rob, if you don't get one dislike, you haven't made it. So I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Here's what Slide said, by the way. Flip, I'm gonna put it up here. This is what he said too. Oh, wait. Yours came up. I'm sorry for yours came up just so I hit the button. This is what he put.
Yeah.
He said, Rail fan, I would love to audition.
Yeah, just give him a DM and he'll hook you up, man.
And this is what he said. He said, go to here Slide. So check out this Maya. Sorry, my daughter's getting real crazy. She's playing, she's having a good time. So
I remember when they were that age.
Real quick, I want you to say hi to a couple people.
The monkeys.
I want you to, first off, I want you to say hi to Slide Jones.
Hi, Slide Jones.
I want you to say hi to Inya.
Hi, Inya.
There you go. That's my girl. Say hi. Did you say hi to Rookie?
Hi, Rookie.
Hi.
Say hi to Flip.
Hi, Flip.
Hi, monkey.
I was just playing with Thomas Minis, by the way.
Oh, go ahead. I'll play with you a little later, okay? She's playing Thomas Minis.
Daddy, when you're done, can you please come and play with me?
Sure.
You're on the clock now, man.
I got time. My wife's like, listen, you could stream as long as you want, the guys. As long as you guys stay, I'll stay. Oh, Jedi Purge, man. I love this kid. He's going to be on with me Sunday, I hope. If you guys
Hi, Jedi Purge.
Jedi Purge. He's a very young YouTuber. He probably doesn't know anything about the Fandom Collective. I don't know if Rookie. I would love if you guys. Do you know the Imperial Academy? Do you guys know that kid? Do you know him?
Yeah.
Good kid.
Jedi Purge has been a friend of mine for over a year. He stopped doing streams. The other day he came back. I swear, one video he had 1,100 people watch his video. 1,100 people watch his video. And the next one he put out, I think there was like 400 or 500 watch his second video. I'm trying. He's a good guy. He's got a good channel starting to steam up. So I don't know if the Fandom Collective can help him in any way.
Yeah,
but,
have him DM us. Have him DM.
Okay, there you go.
DM.
And this is Flipped Out, by the way. This is Flipped Out channel. Please check out Flip. He's a fantastic guy.
I'm putting up as well.
What happened?
I'm putting up Rookie as well here.
Okay, I'm going to show you both off. India says, my daughters are about the same age. Nice one, mate. You and your families. Take care. I'll see you later. India, be well. And we love you, guy. Thank you for stopping by. Sly Jones says, hello, elbow cough.
Yeah, right.
Doing the dab.
Yeah, I mean, that's the new thing, right? That's what we have to do now. It's not even this anymore. A handshake, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, so we were talking about the stormtroopers. I'm sorry, I got all crazy. And by the way, thank you, Rookie, for what you did that. And Sly Jones, you guys made my night.
Man.
I mean, that's seriously you made my night. That's Flip's channel. I'm going to show you. By the way, Perch said he just dropped you a sub, Flipped Out.
Thank you.
Very
much, man.
There you go.
Very good.
And here's the Rookie Critic. He should be coming up in a minute. Hold on. There he is. That's the Rookie Critics channel. If you want to check out Rookie, I suggest you do. He's got a great 8 episodes coming out. I'm so pumped up for it. And if you didn't know, Ricky, maybe you didn't check out my videos. When you were doing the Rookie Quest, I was doing like pumping out, try and get the word out for your thing. I don't know if you saw it, but I was doing.
I saw your little highlights that you put out there. Yeah, that was cool.
Okay, you did see it. So anyway, the Stormtrooper. I got a little off topic. I was so excited. So Slide said he's reaching out to Railfan, by the way, Flip.
Cool, that's good.
Okay. So anyway, we're talking about the Stormtrooper. She's in the costume. Please yell at her. Put your weapon down. She does it. She's on her knees. She's got her hands up. And then what happens after that? The guy gets out of the car who's filming all this, right? It's just a regular person. And he goes to try and tell the cops, listen, it's a fake, it's a plastic gun, it's a stormtrooper, you know, and the cop gets in his face and said, listen, you don't get out of here, I'm going to arrest you right now. I'm going to arrest you. And the guy's like frustrated, like, come on, man, it's a girl. What are you doing? It's a woman. You know, what are you doing to her? The store owner comes out and he's screaming, come on, what the F, you know, I don't care, I'll say it. What the fuck is going on? This is a plastic gun, man. That's my employee. The cop tells him, goes over to him, you just shut your mouth or I'll arrest you. At this point, she's cuffed. And what they don't show, because the truck happens to come in front of the footage, right, as the guy's taking it, they take her and they push her from her knees to the ground. Now, remember, she's handcuffed. She doesn't have the blaster. She's way from the weapon, fake weapon, okay? It's fake. And they push her face to the ground. The photos show that it was blood on the ground. She bloodied her nose and she's crying. I thought it was absolutely horrific at this point to do that. It was excessive force. It was totally unnecessary. When you're like this and you're kneeling away and a gun is obviously from you, you have no weapon. You're like, hey, I give up. Please don't shoot, don't shoot. To grab somebody and do that, I thought was the worst. I never felt so bad for someone when I saw that footage. I thought it was absolutely horrible to see the blood on the ground. I hear her crying, sobbing. And this is an employee who was dressed in a costume for the store. Your thoughts?
You want to go ahead, Rob?
You go ahead first.
Well, first of all, I am against gun control, but I think even if there are laws like there are in Canada, there is a reasonable expectation. There is a pop culture. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. 1 out of every 3 knows what Star Wars is. It's just, that's a fact. 1 out of every 3 people, there were 4 cops there that I counted. So I think that there must have been some overarching situation that we don't know about. There'd have to be, because for them to act so overzealous, for them to basically attack this young lady, there has to be something. Because you're right, it was way over the top. They bloodied her nose. And I had the same video as everybody else. I just presented it in my own weird way. But we all saw that the shop owner came out. He yells, "It's a plastic gun." For some reason, the guy who's filming it doesn't know how to film at all. He's like all over.
Most people don't when it's in the moment. Most people just don't know how to film anything.
I agree. And I thought you'd say something like that. So that's why I brought that up. But, you know, it's sad that in a country where they claim gun control fixes stuff, it's clear to me that even just cosplaying, they're ridiculous. It makes me wonder, is it because there is no big drug deals or big gun deals that they can break up and shooting shootouts they can get into? Is that the problem? Are these cops like very anxious all the time? Or I would think it'd have the opposite effect. I would think they'd have the opposite effect, that they would be like, well, there's nothing to do. Yeah, that's great. Let's bust some speeders, some drivers. It's absolutely intolerable what they did. And for you not to be able to cosplay in a freaking stormtrooper outfit in the largest, most well-known franchise of the world, something else, we're not getting the entire story. Something doesn't make sense. It's the only thing I can think.
Well, I agree with everything you guys said. However, try to think about it like this. This is how I was kind of approaching it when I was hearing about it. After I was thinking about it for a little bit, it's like, so let's say that you're the police, you're the law enforcement, and you get a phone call that says, we don't know the context of the phone call. If it's, hey, I think somebody has a gun outside, or if it's like, holy shit, there's somebody in armor and they got a gun out there. They don't know what. Maybe from far away it looks like a real gun to them. I don't know. And they get one report saying there's somebody dressed in armor with a gun outside in a country where they're not supposed to have guns. I think that's in Canada, right? Where they don't have them. So that's a lot of red flags right there. Armor out in the middle of the day, in the middle of the street, a gun. They don't know. You're not supposed to have guns. So who is that and why are they here? And then you got, another phone call, second one, confirming that. And then, if you're the cops, are you supposed to just take it lightly and just be kind of like, oh, it's probably just a stormtrooper. It's somebody. It's the 4th. Of course it is. But what if that happens to be, that lack of response happens to be another time when they do have a gun? They are going to cause harm. They are going to do something. Like, that's why they usually take more drastic measures sometimes, because, let's say they took it very lightly and it was a problem. Like, let's say that a terrorist or somebody who wanted to cause harm and was aware that, hey, everybody knows Star Wars, right? Why would they think any harm of me in a stormtrooper outfit? And I have my blaster, my gun or something, and I'm going to go slaughter some people. Let's say they took it lightly and then 20 people died that day.
It's a good argument, but once the young lady threw down the plastic gun.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm just saying from the approach, because a lot of people had issues with how they approached her and everything too, and going, it's a Star Wars. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But
I agree.
To the point when they get the gun, when they take the gun away, and the fact that the guy is screaming, like, get the guns away, the guy's saying it's an employee, it is May the 4th. All of this starts to come into play now. Yeah, they should kind of taken it easy, or at least not have made her do that. Realize you're in a costume. Costumes aren't easy to maneuver in, and a helmet. If they're getting her onto her knees, they should have removed the helmet first. Maybe if they had her cuffed beforehand, or I don't know the order of they do it. Go to the ground and then we cuff you, or cuff you on the ground. I don't know. But yeah, taking the helmet off in any situation, like even if that was a biker in a helmet, would you make them go to the ground with their helmet on, or would you remove the helmet first? Because your hands are behind your back. You can't you can't set your face down properly without that. So yeah, I agree on that stuff. I was just saying, for the context leading up to them coming there, they should be worried and just taking it as if it is a real threat, because they got 2 confirmed calls saying there's somebody out there with a gun. So
they should be aptly concerned that someone, and your idea, your similar situation of a terrorist wearing stormtrooper armor, that's brilliant in a really evil, maniacal.
It's like with airplanes, like, oh, we don't need to check. How can you use a toenail clipper to take over an airplane? Well, don't take one and you'll find out. Like,
yeah,
it's like
someone's gonna do it
here. Right.
But I think once you get there and you assess the situation. I don't know what it's like in Canada. I know in America, I've lived next to cops. I've done printing for cops. I've taken martial arts with cops. I know that I live right next to one now. I happen to know that there are steps, and just like in any profession, you need to assess your situation. When you go in to kill bugs at the pest control person, you have to find out what it is you're killing and what chemical you should use that will help that situation. You don't just go in there with a flamethrower and said, your house is fucked. You've got spiders.
Right. True.
Like that. Yeah.
No, I agree. And no, I do wonder if they thought that the armor that she was wearing was real armor, like actually can protect you from bullets. That would have been even stupider of them to do the approach the way they did. You think those bullets are going to go through that? Well, I mean, if it's stormtrooper armor, you could use, yeah, you'll be fine.
Here's why I agree with you on all that, and I got everything, and I think that they took the proper precaution. They got there, they did their job. They step away, put the gun down, step away, put your hands up, got it. Back away from the weapon, got it. Right. Get down on the ground. Now, at this point, we can't hear her, but if I was her, I'd be saying, I can't. Hey, how you doing, 3D Triton 23? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. So at this point, in my mind, she did everything she could do, right? So she's in the right, and they're doing the right thing. It was when, at that point, that they forcibly did what, there was no call to get her to the ground. Once she's cuffed, once she's in custody, you did your job. You guys did. You took all the precautions you did. She did what she had to do. You want to bring her in for questioning? That's fine. The owner wants to come in with you? Fine. And you let her go. There was no charges, and that's fine. The only issue I think I had on my end was when they pushed her to the ground. She was not resisting whatsoever. There was no fight there. She's not like fighting. She's like, listen, I don't know what to do. She's nervous. She's got guns. Listen, I had guns drawn on me. I don't have a gun. I'm going to crap my pants. I'm sorry. And I'll tell you, it has happened to me. It has happened to me.
Scary.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's happened to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you my story real quick. I was coming home from. This was my first wife. We were like long time. We were together a long time. So I was coming home. It was 2 a.m. and this car comes out of nowhere. Now remember, it's pitch black. I'm walking home. Okay. This car does a like. I'm like looking like, what the hell? It's 2 a.m. Okay. There's no one here. I'm just walking home. These guys come out. 2 guys, one older, one younger, with guns drawn. They don't identify themselves. They don't tell me who they are. I'm sitting here like, is there a hit on me? What? I'm petrified. I don't know what's happening.
Get robbed now. He said some things you like on YouTube. Get him.
So I ran. What I did was I just backed off to behind the biggest tree I could find because I said, these guys are going to shoot. I'm going to try to duck, go behind the car, run to a backyard. I didn't know what to do. I was like panicked. Then they finally screamed, "We're police." I'm like, okay. Fine.
Different. Okay, it's different.
So I step out. Now remember, because what would a human being be thinking with guns drawn? This car does
Maybe that's still part of the game. Maybe they weren't police. There's like, hey, we're cops, buddy. You can come with us. We got ice cream and candy. Come on.
Yeah. Or would show it.
Right. So what they did was, how I knew was because they flipped out the badges. So when they both flipped out the badges, okay. And I knew it was a real gun. I mean, I saw that gun right away and I said, yeah, that stuff is totally real. There's no joke. Yes, I am, by the way, 3D Trite. Now, aren't you from the Lost Sultan? Yes, I know him. He's a good friend. Jeff, he's a good friend of mine. Just wanted to answer that real quick. So when that happened, I said, okay, fine. So I put my hands up, walked to them slowly, didn't want any trouble. God forbid they shot me, So I said, I just got to do the right thing here. And whatever they want me to do, I'm going to do. I don't care what it is. So here's the funny part of the story. At the time, I'm like a teenager. So in my upper pocket here, I have a condom. So the older guy doesn't know what the fuck it is. So guess what he calls me? What is this? What is this? Some kind of new drug? Is this some kind of new drug? I'm trying not to laugh because I want to bust out laughing at this moment, but I want to show respect. So the young guy goes in his ear. Yeah, it's a condom. It's used for safe sex. So the guy gives me back the condom, puts it in my pocket, and goes, "You keep doing what you're doing."
That's pretty good.
Oh, boy.
So. So I went from hysterically scared, out of my mind, worried that I'm going to get shot or who knows what's going to happen to me, to laughing on the way home. So it was quite a dramatic experience for me to go through. And so I don't know what happened. I thought you guys would find that entertaining. What about you, Flipp? What happened, if you care to share?
There's a few times. One time I was in downtown Atlanta. It was 1995, December. So it was it's 94, but it was December 31st. So in a few hours, it would be 1995. You catch my meaning? It was December 31st. So we were down in Atlanta watching the Peach drop. There's a MARTA station, and down there, MARTA's like the L train up there. It's an underground subway. So I was in the crowd getting some drinks for me and my friends. And I got knocked down by a couple people. I said, son of a bitch. That's what I said. But they thought I said bitch to them. And so these 2 very large Latino women they lost their shit on me. So I was like, I had these 2 Long Island iced teas. I ducked down into the crowd and I'm waving out in it. And I get through everybody. And I look and most of the drink, was gone. I was like, well, poured it all in one slam and I'm done. I said, we got to go get more. And I told my story. We had a good time. Hours went by. The Peach dropped. Next thing you know, we're going down to the MARTA station, the subway train. And the crowd just opens up and this dude holds a gun, not kidding, sideways, calling me punk bitch and all this other stuff. Basically threatened my life. For a good 2 or 3 minutes. It felt like an hour, honestly, but it was like 2 or 3 minutes. And that was just one of them. Is I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, I mute myself because I don't want my daughter. She's very loud, so I want to hear what you're saying. So I just, but what I'm saying, if you see my reaction, I was like, oh my god, damn, man, like,
Oh my god, damn!
because I could picture if I'm in that situation. Like I remember, listen, that's what happened to me, and I remember how scared I was from that incident. I can't picture like right here and like, what are you gonna do? Like, I ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna crap my pants. Is what I'm gonna die. What can I do?
Hope the idiot with the gun don't actually pull the trigger right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At that point, you just listen. It's either your life or you just make some kind of smart remark. You know, so yeah. I mean, you gotta. What choice did you have? You gotta.
Your shoes untied.
Oh boy.
Okay, so let me get some of the comments. I fell a little behind, but man, listen, Flip. I'm just glad you're okay. You know, that's the main thing. You're okay, and you know you weren't hurt, and you know. But man, that's a scary thing. So Jenna Pert says, so if these cops went to an event and people were cosplaying stormtrooper clones, then would they all get arrested? Well, no. I don't think that's what happens. I mean, like if you go to Celebration, I could tell you from experience, everybody's in costume. Yeah. No one got arrested.
That's an event where you expect things to be like that. This is just out in the middle of a street, and you know, May the 4th isn't like if everyone knows that's a day. It's technically not even a real holiday. It's just a day people have a play on words. May the 4th be with you. So you know, and I don't think people would click. Oh, that's what this is, obviously. So I don't know. And like I said, it could have been a real gun that they had, but it wasn't. So that's good. But no, they'd be fine.
Well, I know the rookie isn't caring too much about this next question. Maybe Flip is, so I'll get his opinion on this first. Mm-hmm. What Star Wars-based content are you guys most looking forward to? Flip?
I'm looking forward to The Mandalorian Season 2 like nobody's business. I cannot wait to see what they do. I'm also looking forward to, after the last video game, I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Hopefully, they take it a step further. They only did the first 2 Force Unleashed, and I know it's probably a pie-in-the-sky wish, but I'd like to see a third one of those. Well,
technically, LucasArts did Force Unleashed. That was pre-Disney.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah. Yeah. But so far, just The Mandalorian, unfortunately. I'm not looking forward to anything else they have on the books that I can think of. No, the movies don't.
You're talking about Jedi Fallen Order, right? That's the game you meant?
Fallen Order. Yeah. Okay. They kind of use the game. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, you don't stream? You haven't thought about streaming some of the games that you play on your channel? Have you ever thought about doing that?
Sure. I would have to get some sort of card. I can't remember the name of it to stream for my Xbox. But my Xbox.
Okay.
My Xbox just crapped out a month and a half ago. However, I did buy Home Shield, which you pay for it monthly in your mortgage, and so to replace the entire Xbox One with a brand new one, or they'll fix it perfectly, would be $100. So that's good.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Okay, cool. So let me look on. By the way, I know. Hold on, I got to get to it. I should have been more prepared. Sorry. Okay, here's just Sly Jones. I'm going to put what he said in here. This had to do with what we were talking about. So people think police brutality only happens to people of color. I think too many cops are stressed, underpaid, and not well trained. You guys, your thoughts on that?
I'd say that's true. And the fact that, you know, you can't, like, imagine your job being to analyze everybody and everything going on. So it's like their job is to try to deal with people only, and these people can be from the crazy level of, you know, beyond 10 and below 0. Who knows what level of crazy they're going to be, or they could just be fully normal, or they could be disguised as normal, but they're really crazy. Like you don't know. So like they have to be always, they can never fully drop their guard. Like even if there's kids around, they need to have at least 1% of alert in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, I would agree. They're probably stressed big time with their job.
Yeah, I agree. Becca Jetty, Jeffrey Turner says, "Hey, hi to everybody." By the way,
hey.
Then he asks, should you be talking about this kind of stuff around in front of your children? Well, my daughter doesn't pay attention to me.
I don't think she knows what the hell you're talking about. You're just saying words that are like, okay, whatever. So.
And I can tell you right now,
Rob, what's behind you?
Yeah, as you can see, nobody's here. She went in her room, and she doesn't pay attention to me anymore. Her imagination is so into what she's doing at that moment. She's so focused. Like I could walk it. Well, here she is now. But I could walk into the room.
Yeah, they're talking about her.
Yeah, speaking about her, there she is. You want to say hi to Megan Jetty?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi, Megan Jetty.
And say hi to Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
There you go. That's my girl. That's my girl, right? Yeah, don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Slide Jones. So, let's see. Okay, here's Slide Jones. Hold up. Yes, Maya.
Can I have a cracker?
You know where they are. Go get them.
Yeah.
Slide Jones. 2 words. Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Your thoughts. By the way, since we're talking about the Mandalorian, as we know, I did a video. Ahsoka Tano supposed to be in it. Rosario Dawson. They're bringing Captain Rex. They're bringing Boba Fett, Bosk, Mon Mothma, a lot of people who they're bringing into this. Your thoughts? Is this overkill? Is this fantasy? Is this drawn us back? What do you guys think? Your thoughts on it?
This is such overkill, such nostalgia. Everything. I don't know. I don't know what else are they gonna? Are they gonna bring the Sarlacc pit back? Are they gonna bring the Rancor back? Which that wouldn't be too bad, I guess. But like, I don't know. It just sounds like. Again, I don't have any interest in The Mandalorian. I watched episode 1 and didn't really care about seeing the rest of the show. So, I mean, they can do whatever they want. I don't think that bringing Boba Fett or Rex or anybody, Ahsoka, will make it better. I feel like, again, like what I was saying before, this will be a chance for them to drag them through the mud, possibly. So, I don't know. That's what I think. But they could, if they do it well, maybe. But I don't know.
Well, I differ in opinion from Rook on this, but it depends on how you look at it. I believe in the immortal words of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's how you see it from a certain point of view. And I think personally that the Mandalorian is sort of the last little sliver of what was good about Star Wars. And I'm just grateful to have it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's the best effort. You can feel that someone cares enough. And I would suggest Rook definitely look at the first 3 episodes of Mandalorian. And maybe that might make a difference to you. But even still, I mean, completely entitled to your opinion. I mean, it's not like I was the only one who hated The Last Jedi. I mean,
right.
But yeah, I'm excited. Ahsoka makes me excited. I will say this about Rosario Dawson. I know I've said this before, but I'm a little bit picky about, like, I wanted her to look like the real Ahsoka. And yeah, she looks pretty good. So I'm going to give her a pass on why I don't think, she looks just like her. I'm going to let my disbelief slide and go, yeah, that's cool. I like the fact that they're using Tamura Morrison for not just Boba Fett, but for Captain Rex. Was that confirmed, Rob?
Well, as far as I know, he's Boba Fett. But now that the Captain Rex, I just heard about this today. So he's probably going to do both. Now, remember, Boba Fett has a mask on, right? So he could do both parts. And if you remember, in the Clone Wars, it came from Jango Fett. Who is Jango Fett? Morrison, right? So he's all the clones. He's Jango Fett because it's supposed to be his DNA. So now he's going to be Boba Fett, but we can't see him underneath. So they put him with the mask, and we'll know it's him.
They can have a different actor, and he can just voice the lines. He doesn't even need to be in the suit.
That's true.
True. Yeah, true. And he could just be a voice actor in the show. And then he could do Captain Rex because Captain Rex is supposed to look like him. So, yeah. I mean, he could do dual parts. I mean, I can't see why not. I wouldn't see any reason.
They make Rex look very different to Boba Fett anyway. So, they're visually, even though it's the same actor, they look visually different. So,
yeah.
Features.
They'll probably just give him a beard, tell him to grow his beard.
Yeah,
make
beard,
sure
he'll wear his own helmet or something, so he'll look like his own person, have his own style, and they'll be fine. Boba Fett will have his helmet, and you won't even question it. So,
before I get into Slide Jones's comment, Rookie, I'm just curious, what turned you off, or you were never really as into Star Wars as I am and Flipp is, or you just what happened?
Well, like of course, I was very much into Star Wars. Like I grew up
Well,
on
like I
it.
said, I
It's part of what helped me want to be a creative writer. I made my own little stories growing up, trying to put me and my friends in the Star Wars universe. Trying to do some of those things. I played a bunch of the games, had a bunch of the toys. I still have them. A bunch of the old toys. Played the crap out of them.
Oh, you could see that in your tomatoes when you do the tomatoes.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah,
as the toys, right? And but it's just like I was saying before. I don't think that things need to continue forever all the time. It's like I kind of was okay with them coming to a close, and then they added the Clone Wars, which I enjoyed, but I don't think it needed to exist either. Like it was a good addition, but it's not necessary. I'm not clamoring for more of it. It's fine that it's there. So like with anything extra that they're doing, it's just like I wish they did more video games, I guess, because that's not as official and it's fun to interact with along with it and play with your friends with it maybe. But so with this, I just don't. I don't know. The Mando, it just seemed at the end it showed the Baby Yoda, and my interest dropped completely. I was just kind of like, the whole fight too with him and the droid with everyone. I don't know. That didn't seem like an exciting fight to me. Really, they seemed like they were in no danger to me. Like, especially the droid was just bulldozing through them by himself at first, and it's like, okay. And I don't know. Just I'm okay with slow pace, but it just didn't seem like there's much there. And I know it's the pilot, and sometimes TV shows take a while to build up. But like I've seen people's reviews of it and what happens. I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels like I don't need to watch it. So that's pretty much where my interest is right now. Like I said, I don't need more Star Wars right now. I've got enough of it with what it was, and there's plenty of other things I need to catch up on. I still need to catch up on classic films that I haven't seen before. There's a lot of other TV shows I haven't seen at all that everybody thinks I should see. So I've got my own hands full with all these different genres and franchises to watch.
Okay. I had to quickly tuck my daughter in, but I can come back with you guys. Give me like 2 minutes. You run the show, and I'll be okay. She said goodnight, by the way. She wanted to go, so she said goodnight to everybody. And she said, I gotta go to bed. I said, oh yeah, I forgot. I totally lost track of time here. So I'll be right back. But here's Sly Jones says the Mando and the Clone Wars are trying to fix what JJ and Ryan broke. I don't know if you guys would like to Jedi Purchase, I agree. I wish they would work on more games. And it says the comics aren't in good hands with Marvel right now. That's it. That's interesting. That's a good topic. I mean, I wanted to get into that a little bit before I don't know what you guys think of this, but I'll be right back if you want to carry the show.
Yeah, no problem.
5 minutes.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Sly Jones also says in the chat, A Clockwork Orange. Yeah, I do own A Clockwork Orange, but I have not sat down to watch it yet. That's one of the films that everybody was telling me that I need to be in the right type of mindset to watch it, I suppose. And in a way, they're kind of right. I've been too distracted with other things to sit down and watch a movie like that and get, take the full effect of whatever's in it. So I'm going to watch that at some point when I'm more ready for it. But, there's plenty of other ones that I still need to watch, as everybody will kill me for. But I can't think of them off the top of my head because my list is so long with it.
It is that long.
But to comment on the comics thing, yeah, you've been hearing about some of the comics with Marvel, right? Or I get Marvel and DC mixed up sometimes with their newer stuff. I don't know if Safe Space and Snowflake were Marvel's invention or DC's.
Marvel.
Yeah, it was Marvel. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that stuff?
The comics aren't in good hands. Yeah, I would agree. It seems like it all started with Gamergate, and then it went to Comicsgate, and it doesn't really seem like it's ended yet. So, I mean, it's just getting worse in that area. I don't know if it's getting better in film either. Every now and again, I watch Netflix. I watch, as much as I can. So I'll catch a good movie every now and again, but for the most part, ever since all of this started, it's so weird. I went into my 40s when all this started, and I'm like, oh, great, this is what my 40s are? Jesus. And I don't know. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop so that it can just change back from all this insanity. The comics, you're right, are not in good hands, Slide. They are not in good hands. And I agree with Rook with the Snowflake and Safe Space and Blaze. What was her name? Trailblazer. And some of the other ones, I can't even remember their names. I saw it. I rolled my eyes. I saw that a lot of people did videos on it, and I was like, yeah, I don't even want to look at it, really. Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to tuck the little one in. So
I've got to get going. I think Rookie gave you a note there, but you want?
Yeah, I'm afraid if I click it, I don't want to lose everybody. So you can just tell me.
You can click in and out of your thing on StreamYards. You can click to different tabs and they'll still be there. So.
Oh, I see it. Hold on, I see it. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. We can. Yeah, that's fine. I'm down with that. That's fine. Totally got it. Okay, so sorry about that. I totally missed some of the things you were saying. So, let me catch up with Slide. He said, I'd love to discuss it with you, man. Snowflake and Snow Space.
He's talking about A Clockwork Orange. Because I haven't seen that yet, but said I'll watch it at some point. I'll give that a watch.
I haven't actually seen that either.
And then he said this is the last comment I got. And he said, the SJW cringe will only get worse with Star Wars. That's what he said.
Yeah, most likely. I feel like that's kind of with a lot of things, though. Hollywood's just in that phase right now.
I wanted to say this, Rookie, because you brought this up. You said, I don't feel like they have to go on and on and on. So I'll give you another franchise. John Cena. I don't know if you know who John Cena is. He's former WWE.
I'm aware of Cena.
He's going to be in, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, Fast and Furious 9, which I don't know how they make movies with cars on ice and jumping out of buildings. And
okay, that's a different animal, I guess. Like, I don't think that they should have had more than 2 tops, like at all. But they're the perfect kind of popcorn stupid that has hints of good. That is like, that's fine. Like it's not the same thing like with the fantasy setting or sci-fi where you have like the really strong characters and going through all these super adventures. Like these are, they just have issues with certain things that they end up doing, and whatever reason to have a next fight, some type of fight and drama. I don't know, but it's like it's the perfect type of popcorn franchise is what I'd call it. But again, I don't think they need to make any more ever again. But if they do, I mean, they're gonna have their flying cars go to Mars. I don't know, like I could see that being a thing. Flying cars go to Mars. It'd be their next one. They got to fight the gangster Martian that took their money from 10 years ago. I don't know. Like I could see that being a plot. Why not? He had a kid apparently, like in this. So
yeah.
I don't
know. Did you guys, have you watched any of the Fast and Furious? This is getting off to Star Wars for once. Did you guys watch any of it?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of them. I've seen a couple of them. Fast 8, Fast 5, and I think 1 through 2, and maybe I saw some of 3 and 4, but I don't remember what happens in them. So
I saw 7, right? And I think that there's 2 absolutely, 3 scenes off the top of my head. I don't remember the whole movie. That I saw that I was sitting there like, are they kidding me? Like one was, there was 3 buildings and they were all like different sizes, right? So the car, I gotta go this way. So all different sizes. So the car's going out of one building to the other building, and it perfectly stops on the 3rd building right before the edge. And they get out of the car like, hey, that's great. And I'm looking like, are you freaking kidding me? A car is going to fly like that high up in the air with all.
I feel like physics don't work like the way they do in our universe. Like, no, there's different rules to their universe, I think, with cars. Like, they do so many things that are like, what? So who knows? And in the Hobbs and Shaw, they literally start having superpowers now. So I don't know. I'm not even kidding.
Like, okay, like, I don't know if you know the Charlie's Angels stuff. Like, I saw way long time ago, they had they did the reboot. This was before this one. And that did horribly, by the way. And they had it with Drew Barrymore, and I forget the other ladies who were in it. And I watched it, and it was pretty good. I mean, there was some effects that were absolutely outrageous. Like, these things were so unbelievable. I was like, my God, they were doing things like spinning in the air like Darth Sidious. And I was like, what the hell am I watching here? I don't know. I mean, is it that Hollywood, because again, I'm going to ask you guys, is it Hollywood is just running out of things that now they want to reboot everything and they want to pass their agendas? What the hell is just, I never seen it so, like, I'm like so disinterested in so much stuff. Like, what is happening here?
I have a long answer, so Flipp, you go first.
Oh yeah, I feel the exact same way you do, Rob. Where's the creativity? Where's the originality? Nobody seems to care much for it anymore. I remember when Goonies came out, and E.T. and Star Wars, obviously, and Friday the 13th, completely new take on horror at the time. It was all growing up. Everything was new. And then I like the idea of sequels. I think it was the early 90s, late 80s. Sequels were big. You had Back to the Future 2, Police Academy 2 or 3 or something like that. I loved them. But when you start doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 freaking sequels, it's a little over the top. Although I will say I do like the Fast and Furious shows. Like Rookie said, it's good popcorn watching, foolishness. Lots of cars, guns, and sexy women. I mean, how can you go wrong, right? But yeah, I think they've decided to just I think they've become lazy. They realize that they are a political media through which they can push their beliefs onto others. I think that they're very upset that as many people are out there, most people don't really care for what's going on with their media, and they're lazy. They just go ahead and do these reboots or sequels. Really, they're sequels just with new actors, and not often written well or written as well or done as well, directed as well.
Yeah, well put, Flipp. I feel the same way on that. Laziness is a good way to put it, because it all comes down to, if this is the question, if you're to ask me, being a upcoming, I want to be a director someday, if you're to ask me, why do you want to be one? It's because there's a lot of stories that I want to tell. It's because I want to be able to bring a lot of people some entertainment. I want to be able to see how far I can push myself to create something that's in my head and bring that out so you all can see it too. I wonder if you ask a lot of modern filmmakers or studios or whatever you want to call it, actors, it seems like, it's just supposed to make a movie because it's a job, and I don't want to think about it. So here we go. Let's just take one that's already existed and try to make it again. The Overboard remake was one of the most useless types of remakes, because there's the Overboard from the 80s or 70s or something, with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, and it's that's not a perfect movie. It's not the best movie ever, but it was a little movie, and that got rebooted. Yeah. That got a reboot. Why? Why? You could just do a similar story. You could just do a similar story and call it something else, and then be original. You could be inspired from that, sure, and do a similar premise where somebody is an asshole and they lose their memory and you tool around with them. By all means, do a movie like that. But why are you rebooting it with the same title? It's the same premise, but gender swap and race swap, and that's the thing. It's that's it. That's what you got. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And with sequel franchises and all these, The Hobbit. I mean, there's lots of things in it that people can like and praise. Sure, that's fine. But overall, that looks why do you want to make this? What is the point? That's because you want to have another big epic scale movie, perhaps, but I don't know. It just seemed like there was less effort there, less caring of it. It was we can just throw it in, we can just fix it in post. We can fix it in post. As to where I want to see more filmmakers wanting to do it the Lord of the Rings way, trying to get, they did a great mix of CGI and practical. They used a lot of computer technology and a lot of practical technology, and to get the certain sound effects, they literally would go out and try to make different noises to make different things for what they're filming, and that's freaking dedication. I want to see more of that, but maybe not on that scale, but at least the heart is
to me. Flipp was saying, when Avatar came out, I mean, I know some people didn't like it, whatever, but I thought it was a great movie. and like we had a lot of things, like Flipp said back when we had E.T. and you Die Hard, Friday the 13th. We had Freddy, Jason Krueger. We had. It's like everything was something I never saw before. Halloween, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. They're really making things to keep to bring it back to the future, And they had, I'll tell you another one that nobody really talks about. That was one of the most funniest trilogies I've ever seen in my life. And Rookie, if you've never done a watch party for this or ever seen it, I'm going to suggest it. It's called The Naked Gun. Those 3 movies, I swear to God, I could not stop. I never laughed so hard watching movies from some stupid comedy, but it was hysterical. I mean, it was just so funny. I mean, I wish we got things like that again. We don't get that. And it's like, okay, I mean, the only thing I'm really looking forward to maybe is the Black Widow. Because I like Marvel and I really wanted this. And there's a female lead character, and I'm very interested in seeing it because it looks like it is done well with action and the story, and that's what I want. Okay, so when people say, oh, you don't want a female lead, blah, blah, no, I do. And this is a movie with a female lead. I have nothing against it, and I want to see this movie, It's just my thought, Yeah. But we gotta get going. I know you gotta get going. I know we gotta get going here. So Well, first off, I want to get out my thanks and all this stuff. Oh, I'm gonna be doing a Battlefront 2 stream in a couple hours. So Mega Jetty, I hope you're on because I play with Mega Jetty when we play Star Wars Battlefront 2. So we'll be heading on a few hours. I stay up late. I'm an insomniac. I'm like a vampire. What can I tell you? But I have a whole crew. We had like 6 or 7 people come on a few nights, and we've had a lot of fun on there. And so we're going to be doing that a few hours. And I just want to thank everybody who came to the chat today, from Sly Jones and, I could go on Rosie Wren and Mega Jetty and, everybody for stopping by. What about that train movie?
Oh, Snowpiercer, I think, is what he's referring to.
What is that?
Snowpiercer. It had Chris Evans in it, I think.
Oh, I don't know. The only train movie I remember was what was it? I think it was with Leslie Nelson. It was like somebody took over the train or something. It was kind of like a Taken kind of thing that he did. That's all I remember. I don't remember too much with a train. Maybe Snakes with Trains or something like that too. And that's the only thing I can really remember. Trains in it.
The Polar Express had a train. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Second, I want to thank Sly Jones and the Rookie Critic for first ever super chats on my channel. That's so awesome, man. I mean, that was really nice. You didn't have to do that, man. I really thank you.
All good. The first couple super chats are the most tingly, so
yeah.
So enjoy it.
It felt really good. I saw that. I was like, "What? Really?"
What's that green thing on the chat there?
I was like, "Oh, that is so cool." And thank everybody who comes. Everybody watches the replay. You guys are fantastic. Love this community. Thank you to Flipped Out, of course, who's been terrific with me, helping me with my channel and just being a great buddy, talks to me, texts me, great guy. And I want to thank the Rookie Critic also. And if you haven't checked out their channels, please go check them out. They are great guys. The Fan Collective is fantastic. We got a great community, whether it's Star Wars or it's comic books or it's entertainment or whatever it is. We got everything here. All we want is a damn good story, originality. Good characters. That's all we're asking. That's all. You want my money? We'll give it to you. But just give us what we're asking for. That's it. Anyway, it's been a great stream. I'm going to end it here. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. I have a stream tomorrow, 2 p.m., Friday the 15th. I will have on Tommy Juice, who's a gamer, and my other friend, All About Nerd, who's also a gamer. They'll both be with me. Tommy's like a brother to me. He's another great guy. Fantastic. And through him, I met All About Nerd, who's also a great gamer. She's like a sister. So it's like brother and sister are going to join me. Hell, I need is like flipping you to join. And I got my whole family here. Yeah. So just want to thank everybody and catch you out next time on the flip side. How about that? Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Have a good one.
End the broadcast. Yes, I got to end it.